Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la la la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la.
Beautiful. Shabbat Shalom. That was a nigun, a wordless melody that is called Spring Forward. What perfect thing. I was walking around with Noam and our other kids today. We were having a rain walk. He was so excited to have a rain walk that he actually said to his teacher this morning, he had a small Zoom meeting in first grade, and he said, they asked what they were doing, and he said, I'm going to go on a rain walk. And then he said, Ava, I'm going to try to remember this day. And I thought that was great, but it's, that's what spring is. This weather where it's warm rain, and I think it was in the 60s today, and just a little bit rainy. It kind of reminds me of Seattle, I told him. So Shabbat Shalom, Cantor and Paul. You might have noticed we're looking a little bit different tonight. We've rearranged the room for our preeminent guest, which is the Torah. And actually, we are going to be having a Torah service for the first time in many weeks. You also notice Cantor, we've spread out the room so that she can fully sing. It's very, very difficult to sing with a mask on, so she's able to spread out further. And we're going to be playing around with little things like this. So just keep an eye, and if you notice anything, because we're not looking through the camera, so if you notice anything you want to tell us, just let us know, and we'll try to make adjustments. I know some of you have been talking about the microphone. Happy birthday, Sue Khan, tomorrow. She's turning 98. Hopefully this week you'll be able to hear us a little better, and we're really so blessed to have you in our community. So I'm going to call our synagogue president and have him give the announcements. Let's see. All right, Bruce, I know that you're listening, so as soon as I press the button, here we go. Oh, it's ringing. Hey, Bruce. Shabbat Shalom. All right, I'm going to put you on. You're good.
Okay.
It's all yours. They can hear you.
Great. Well, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. As I say every week, I hope you all had an uneventful week. We had an eventful week here at Temple. I want to thank the Cantor and Paul for their hard work on last Saturday night's Mother's Day weekend concert. And I want to thank everyone who virtually attended. There were a lot of people watching. It was great. And it was really nice to see so many faces on Zoom afterward for our virtual reception and to visit with so many people. These days, we don't get the chance to do a lot of socializing with each other, and this was a really nice opportunity. I can assure you we will do more things like that. And as we plan new things that we can do online, we are also planning what we can do when we are allowed to have people back in the building or possibly have services under the tent. We still don't know when that will be, and we don't know what the limits will be in terms of how many people can be together, but I can assure you when we get the green light, we will be ready to go. We had a very productive executive committee meeting Tuesday night. As you know, the executive committee is meeting every 2 weeks now, and we are planning everything we possibly can. By the way, the religious school is going to wrap up for the year this weekend, and I just want to thank our religious school director, Erev Simons, and all of our teachers. They've done a wonderful job of giving our students the best Jewish education possible under these very challenging circumstances. And I can assure you they are already thinking about how things will look come fall. I hope you will continue to take advantage of the opportunities we're providing. I will have the list of what's coming up in the next week, and it is a long list later in the announcements. So I'll be back then. In the meantime, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Bruce. Good to hear from you. I'll talk to you later. So I hope you were able to hear that. But Bruce, it's so nice to hear your voice, and you really do so much for our community. I also want to thank, I have a new mask. I got it in the mail. Toby Horowitz, thank you. She she and her husband helped to do our videoing and make sure that we are streaming. So we're really appreciative, and what a wonderful surprise. Yeah, Cantor got one too.
It's beautiful, but I'm not singing with it right now.
I got one that matched what I was wearing today. I have my lizard tie for the end of Leviticus that we're going to be reading. So we're going to be turning now to candle lighting. We had about 10 people join us in our Zoom candle lighting at 6:45. We hope that you'll sign up in the future, and it's a wonderful way to have a little community. Plus, they got to hear Cantor warming up and Paul before the service. They got a special treat tonight. So you can see our candles are already lit, and I'm going to invite you to light your candles. Our prayer book, the Mishkan Tefillah. If you don't have a copy or you want to get a copy, just reach out to us. Joanne can arrange for Kyle to get you a copy if you need, or it's at the CCAR website as well with a PDF. So let's bring in our Shabbat candles, bring in love and joy into our life as we bless the candles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, God, who sanctifies us through the commandments and commands us to light our candles, to light our way through Shabbat. Just take a moment to reflect on all that you have in this world and the many blessings, and we breathe in what we want to retain from the week, and we breathe out what we want to get rid of. So I think we've reversed order. So why don't I have Cantor lead us in the Kiddush? I'll go get the cup. That's on page 123, the Friday night Kiddush. And if you have grape juice or wine, you can go pour yourself a glass and lift it up, and we'll sanctify the day of Shabbat.
123. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kineshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lemaseh v'reshit ki hu yom techilah למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי באנו ובחרת, ואותנו קידשת, מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון, הנחלתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת.
Amen. L'chaim, l'chaim, to life, to joy, to love. And now we're ready to bring in Shabbat itself into our rooms, into our spaces, wherever they are, with L'chadodi on page 138. We're going to sing the first three verses together, and then the last verse, number 9, we rise and we face whatever doorway we choose. And maybe we're just facing each other in cyberspace, and that's good. And we will bow to Shabbat as she enters into our space, and then we'll wish each other a Shabbat Shalom before resuming services.
Shamov v'zachor b'dibor echad Ishmianu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad Shemo tiferet v'litchila l'echad udi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela Likrat Shabbat lechovenecha ki mikor aberacha merosh mikedem nesucha sof maase b'machshava techila lechadudi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela Mikdash melech ir melucha komitzei mitoch ha'afecha rav lach shevet b'yemeka bahu yachamol alayichem la lechadudi
Rise.
Likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela Boi v'shalom ateret bala Gam b'simcha ufetzola Tov emunei am segula Boi chala
Lechadodi likrat kala
b'nei Shabbat nekabela
We remain standing for the Baruch Hu, our call to prayer, our call to community, page 146. Feel the presence of one another surrounding you right now.
La 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 la
And we remain standing, page 149. Please join with me in the English of the second reading. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. And we turn now to the Shema, our most sacred prayer, page 152.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shen Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shen Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
You may be seated. And let's turn to page 155. We're going to read the English of the V'ahavta. V'ahavta is about going forth out into the world. It's very different today. Just even leaving the simple confines of our house seems immeasurably a big task. But let's read this, because this is the prayer you're supposed to take with you wherever you go on the way. So please join with me in the English. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you are tired or you are rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep them in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them at the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your God. I led you out of Egypt to become your God. I am Adonai your God. We're going to turn now to the Michamocha, our prayer of crossing into freedom. It's on page 158. Who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? We're going to turn to page 161, and now I think you should be used to it. Cantor's been teaching us the left side of the page. the very top prayer there, let there be love, 161. Please join in if you're able.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Ashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Ashkivenu, L'Shalom. V'ha'amidenu, Shamreinu L'chaim. Sukkot Shalom Echad. Ashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu. Ashkivenu, L'Shalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms.
Beautiful. Baruch atah Adonai hapores sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, God, who brings peace to Israel and to the world. On page 163, just a brief English reading, the second one that is particularly meaningful in this time frame. A thought has blown the marketplace away. There's a song on the wind and joy in the trees. Shabbat arrives in the world, scattering a song in the silence of the night. Eternity utters a day. I invite you to rise for the Amidah, the standing prayer, page 164, and Cantor will recite through page 170 out loud.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agit tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibur v'Hanora Ideyom Gomer Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Yaakov V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevi Gebula Livnei V'Nehem L'man Shemo V'Ahava V'Rechozer Moshiach Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibur Le'olam Adonai Mechayei Hakol Atah Rav Lehoshia Mechakel Chaim B'Chesed Mechayei Hakol V'Rachamim Rabim Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim U'Matir Asurim U'Mekayim אמונתו לשני עפר, וכמוך בעל גבורות ומידה מלך, מלך מביט ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מקיים הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללו חסדה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue with our own private prayers through page 180, and we'll resume in a few minutes with Oseh Shalom.
Oseh shalom, shalom b'bramav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'akol Yisrael yimru amen. Hu yaseh
Beautiful. So nice to be able to hear you without the mask, and I know it's also a lot safer for yourself as well. So this is a really special night because we're trying a Torah service. We've been missing, I know many of you, this is one of the components of this pandemic that's particularly hard in the Jewish community. I heard a rabbi today comparing it to communion for Christians, not being able to touch or experience the Torah, which is really so central in our service. So we're experimenting, and we hope that you feel a little bit closer to the Torah, because that's why I'm moving positions here. Again, it's an experiment, so we're trying this out. But the service itself will begin on page 364. Oh, I should say, thanks to Kyle for moving all the chairs over here to make room for the podium. So page 364, and Cantor will lead us, and we'll go right to 366. responsively. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadol Adonai iti uneromama Shemo yachdav.
Leha Adonai Hagedula Be'agevura Be'tiferet Be'hanetzach Be'hachor Ki kol b'shamayim u'va'aretz Ki kol b'shamayim u'va'aretz Leha Adonai ha'mamlacha Yamid na'aseh
I feel like everyone's with us, especially if I have my back to everyone over there. So I'm going to pretend that you're all here in our room experiencing Torah and Revelation. This is an exciting Shabbat because we are reading from the end of Leviticus. And we're going to do the blessing together. Hopefully you'll be able to see a little bit in your TV or computer, wherever you're watching. The words of the Torah, they're beautiful just looking from a little further away as well. So I'm going to kiss the Torah for everyone, and please say the blessing. Yamdu kol ha'kihila. Let all the congregation rise for the blessing at the end of Leviticus. And we are going to be saying, by the way, chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek at the end. Strengthen, strengthen, be strengthened. Baruch hu et Adonai hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Vahed.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach leolam vaed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu im kol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch ata Adonai Noten HaTorah. Amen. V'kol masar bakar v'tzon kol asher yavor tachat hashavet hasiri kodesh ladonai lo yivkar ben tov l'ra v'lo yimirenu Ve'im hamer yamirenu vayahu v'tmurato yeh kodesh lo yigael ela mitzvot asher tzivah Adonai et Moshe el bnei Yisrael behar Sinai. And we say,
Chazak Chazak V'nit Chazek.
Chazak chazak v'nit chazek. Strengthen, strengthen, may we be strengthened. And I'm going to touch the end of the Torah, which ends, Leviticus ends with the words Har Sinai, Mount Sinai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu et Torah temet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
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 So we are going to now be having, I'm going to turn towards you, a special blessing that Cantor's prepared. Some of you on the candle lighting got to hear a preview of it. This is a blessing for community. We so need a blessing as an overall community, and this is a beautiful way with the Torah out to be able to bless everyone with health and happiness and a degree of holiness in this difficult time.
Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, veLeah, Misheberach, Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, veLeah. Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, veLeah, Misheberach, Avotenu, Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, veLeah. V'yishlach beracha v'hatzlacha bechol ma'aseh yadeim im kol Yisrael achayim v'nomar
Beautiful. May God of our ancestors watch out for our whole entire community. Find us wherever we are and send a blessing of peace to all of you out there. We are going to be turning now to the healing prayer. We're moving from one Mishaberach. Mishaberach just is a format for a blessing. So when we say Mishaberach, sometimes you think that's the healing prayer. That's one way to think of it. But it's actually just a formula similar to Baruch Atah Adonai. And so we're going to move to the one we usually call Mishaberach, which is the prayer for healing. And that's on page 371. I'm going to read the list of names. Thank you, Nancy, in our office for preparing them. And she always prints them out beforehand. She does such diligent work. We are thinking about Atara Ayelet, Vivian Birkowitz, Gloria Berzon, Peter Coyle, Kathy and Chris Crawford, Sydney Ehrenreich, Don Galinsky, Cheryl and Dennis Halpin, Greg Hill, Beth Q, Marcy Leonard, Barbara Trigger-Lupkin, Diane Lynch, Natasha Kokin, Carol Kozmowski, Jeffrey Howard Krebs, Robin Mordaunt Kress, Larry Perlitz, Joni Schwartz, Carol Silverman, Flora Sna, Aileen Sovransky, Laura Spire, Carla Weissman, Avraham Ben Moshe, Sarah Bat Chaya, Malka Bat Naftali, Kayla Bat Miriam, and Miriam Friedel. And I'll turn it over if Cantor or Paul, do you have anyone? So if you're out there, just say the name out loud or in your heart, and we'll pray for all those, including all of you as well. Complete healing of body and soul. I just noticed one of the things, of course, that's lost with masks is the ability to smile. So it's wonderful to have Cantor smile in the room. Sometimes I think, oh, you can see smiles underneath the mask, but I'm not really sure. It's kind of a tricky thing. It's also terrible at facial recognition. Ashira said she's convinced they're going to create a program that will allow for you to have recognition just with your eyes. Who knows? I'm sure that will come soon. So I moved over a little bit. I already got some feedback. I appreciate those of you out there who reached out because I can't see and because it's a little bit dark, the sanctuary. So moved up a little bit. Hopefully it's a little less in shadow. So I wanted to start off by talking about celebrity sightings. And I wanted to tell you about a celebrity sighting I had years ago. I haven't had very many in my life, and I had asked Cantor and Paul, but I think, did you want to share it? Or?
Well, there were celebrities I wouldn't mind bumping into, like probably Tom Selleck for at least 40 years.
Yeah, you wouldn't be the only one. He was a cool guy. I liked it, especially that mustache. That was some mustache he had. Now, my celebrity sightings, I've had a couple of them over the years. I used to live in New York City. When you live in New York City, it just feels like you're supposed to run into celebrities. Mostly I don't recognize people, so I wouldn't know if they were celebrities or not. But I remember once, it was around the year 1996, 1997, towards the end of the Seinfeld era in New York City. And when you lived in New York City during that time, especially as a young person, Seinfeld was all around. It seemed like everyone was telling Seinfeld jokes. And I had a little apartment with three of my buddies on 84th Street, which is Isaac Bashevis Singer's street, and also Edgar Allan Poe. There's a famous deli dessert cafe there called the Poe Cafe. It was right next to Riverside Park on the Upper West Side. And one day I was outside and looking out at Riverside Park, and I see a couple walking down, and one of them has very broad shoulders, reddish kind of hair. And I knew right away it was a very familiar visage. I can't prove it, but it always stayed with me that it was Jerry Stiller and Ann Mira. And they were just so beloved as a couple. I didn't grow up with Aunt Mira. It was a little bit before my time, his wife. But Jerry Stiller, certainly from the Seinfeld show, as the Frank Costanza, the father of George, was someone that was very beloved. And he just had this feeling that you wanted to see him. He wasn't exactly a celebrity in the way that Tom Selleck is a celebrity. He was a kind of a bit character in a lot of shows. But he was just the kind of person that you wanted to go around because you knew he was just funny. And you knew if you just saw the guy, you would start laughing. There was just something about him. If you're not familiar, I'm sure most of you out there, that Seinfeld became so ubiquitous, they actually talk about Seinfeld Jews in the 2013 Pew study, the people who just see Judaism based on Seinfeld. And I just think that's the most hysterical thing. Yeah, like they're the bagels and lox and Seinfeld Jews.
The chocolate babka.
Babka, oh yeah, exactly. So Seinfeld, I remember actually the first time I saw it, I was in Israel, 1993, 1994, through the one-year program in my junior year of college. And someone had gotten copies of maybe a couple, maybe 7 or 8 episodes. And they used to play it repetitively in one of the buildings of Hebrew University. And I came over, I said, "What is this?" And you slowly but surely you realize it's a phenomenon. But I wanted to talk about tonight kind of what I learned a little bit from the life of Jerry Stiller, and specifically in the character of Frank Costanza. I thought we'd have a little fun. If most of you know that he passed this week, I think he was 91 years old. And Mira, his wife, had died in 2015, a couple of years ago. A lot of you also are familiar with his son. They had a son and a daughter. And the son's name's Ben Stiller, a famous movie actor, probably even more than his parents. So let me tell you about 4 of the primary episodes of Frank Costanza and kind of what they have to teach a rabbi, a synagogue, a cantor. There's so many things that just continue to resonate. So Frank Costanza, again, he was George Costanza's father, and he actually was only in about a third of the episodes, I think something like 30 out of 120. And he came in a couple of seasons into it. And as Seinfeld kind of created the craft of 3 or 4 different stories swirling around each other, and he often had these primary stories within a story of the show. And there's 4 in particular that just stand out as something that just, I don't know, they communicate about this era, about this time. So the first one came towards the end, and this was when George was engaged to Susan, and the parents, both of them, were meeting one another. And on this occasion, Frank Costanza had arranged to buy a marble rye to bring. Raise your hand out there if you're familiar with this episode. So he brings the marble rye to the meal with Susan's parents, and they're trying to impress each other. Of course, George is quite nervous about it. And sure enough, the Susan's family does not serve the marble rye. Instead, Frank Costanza ends up just taking it home because they didn't serve it. So he said, they didn't serve it, so I'm going to take it home with me. What follows is they have to try to get a similar marble rye, sneak it into the apartment. It's just a lot about craziness, but I thought about this episode because we have a beautiful challah here. It sits there every week. And we kind of play musical chairs with the challah, trying to figure out where should it go. It feels like that marble rye there somehow. The second episode that comes to mind to me is an episode that has to do with Frank Costanza and his war duty. And actually, Jerry Stiller was in the army. I think it must have been World War II, he probably had some war stories himself, but this story had to do with him being a cook in the army. And he unfortunately had this even though he wasn't in military combat in the show, he ended up giving food poisoning to the soldiers and was horrified and never wanted to cook again. And I thought about this episode because of the sense that when you have something bad that happens, like the era that we're in, it just stays with you, it sits with you. And the beauty of that episode is he's kind of learning how to cook again, that we can overcome these things, but these things stay with us. And I think that was just a wonderful example of human behavior. There's two more that are probably the most famous associations when you think about Frank Costanza and the show. The first has to do with a holiday, and it's a holiday that's not Christmas and it's not Hanukkah. It's something else completely. It's called Festivus. And Cantor laughed at this because it's just hysterical. It's a Festivus for the rest of us. So he basically goes and he creates a holiday, and instead of having a tree, he just has a pole. And instead of sharing presents, they share grievances with each other. And then one of my favorite parts of it, because Frank Costanza was a pretty strong guy. He had these really broad shoulders that I always admired. Not like Tom Selleck, but he always seemed to have a certain strength about him. But he also had these feats of strength that would go on. And the funniest thing about Festivus is that after the show aired, people started doing it. It was meant as an anti-commercialism holiday. But actually, there are people out there, maybe even in our congregation. If you are, let me know. That actually do celebrate, and the show's creators actually sort of created a holiday. And I love this for the time we're in, because we're in the process of creating new rituals. We don't know what we're going to create. And I love the silliness of just creating something, and they certainly didn't know it would take off, but it resonated, as this anti-commercial holiday. And the last one is a saying from one of the seasons when there was a lot of stress going on among the Costanzas, and Frank teaches George, his son, he teaches him a word anytime he gets stressed. It's called serenity now. And the whole point of the show is whenever you felt stressed, you would just say serenity now, and then it would instantly go away. And of course, over the course of the show, you realize that you can't just say words and have the stress disappear. It just doesn't work. And so what the funny part of the show is eventually Frank and George and everyone who has been saying serenity now just completely explodes. And I love that sense of we want to have like a magic panacea that we could use to calm our nerves during this. And really, there's nothing specific that we can use. Each of us will have our own techniques, and there certainly isn't something as simple as 2 words, serenity now. But I would encourage you, in memory of Jerry Stiller, to use those words when you're feeling a little strength. Maybe it won't have the effect that was intended in the show, certainly not the negative effect, but maybe it will bring a little laughter, just like when I experienced Jerry Stiller in that little short vignette I had. Lastly, I would just say that in researching and learning a little bit about Jerry and Ann, just a wonderful couple, and actually they were really important in our community, in the Jewish community and the larger world, because they set a precedent just for something that was rarer, certainly when they were married and fell in love in the 1950s and 60s, an interfaith couple. You have an Irish Catholic, and Jerry Stiller was Jewish. And they never let it be an issue. That was part of their comedy act together. They just made it real natural. There's a certain irony. We actually don't know the religion of Frank Costanza. It's sort of hinted at, but we actually don't know what the Costanzas are. But it appears that it's actually the reverse, where he is the Catholic and his wife is the Jewess. So there's a certain amount of irony in that as well. So I hope that you have people in your lives like Jerry and Ann that just make you smile and help you find that serenity that we're looking for. I know I'll always think of that very small moment where I felt like I had a celebrity sighting. I don't know if it's true, but I have to believe, I still believe all these years later that I saw them, and I feel so much joy in that. So may his memory always be, and both of their memories be, a blessing. Okay, so we are going to be turning now to the Omer, page 570. We actually only have another week of announcing the Omer. Shavuot is on May 28th, and so we're getting quite close. This past week we had Lag BaOmer, the 33rd day of the Omer, and this earlier on Friday it was the 36th day of the Omer, which is always fun because it's a double chai. Let me just get the right page. So page 570, tonight we begin the 37th day of the Omer. And I think it's the 10th Friday. Now I'm starting to lose track of it altogether.
It might be 11.
It might be 11 or 10. I think it's 10, but we'll have to go look back. So we'll say the blessing and we'll recount the days that we're in. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kichanu mitzvotav v'tivanu al svirat haomer. Hayom shloshim v'sheva yom shehem. Let's see. 7 goes into 36. Is that 35? Okay, so it's shehem chamisha shavuot v'shnei yamim la'omer. Today is the 37th day of the Omer, which is 5 weeks and 2 days of the Omer. And we say Amen. I invite you to rise as we turn to Aleinu now, which is on page 586. Page 586.
עלינו לשבח לדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהן, וקורבננו ככל המונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 591. You may be seated. We turn to the Mourner's Kaddish now. And again, we'll say the name of Jerry Stiller. We also lost in our community Belle de Bruin. That is the late Cantor de Bruin's wife. Cantor had died a number of years ago from Temple Beth Tzedek. But she is also the mother of Cheryl Wisniewski and the sister-in-law of Bobby de Bruin. And we're also remembering Nancy Fitz, a friend of Ruth Meyerowitz. On our Shloshim list from years past, we remember, on our Shloshim list, these are people that died in the last month. We remember Ed Barzis, Richard Bach, Ruth Bat Chana, Marilyn Davis, Rolene Feugelman, Harold Goldstein, William Heitner, David Lodge, Leonard Mordetsky, Connie Piero, and Joseph Terranova. And on our yard site list from years past, we remember Peggy Altman, Sam Axelrod, Bessie Baker, Maurice Baker, Harry Barron, Ruth S. Bauer, Shirley S. Bronstein, Drina Bush, Joanne Ehrlich, Susan R. Feller, Donald Fox, Marilyn Frank, David H. Freed, Patricia Gilbert Cole, Blanche Gish, Larry H. Glasser, Louise Goodman, Samuel Gottesman, Randy Hill, Nathan Horowitz, Murray Hurwitz, Milton Canner, Caitlin Klein, Philip Koren, Diane H. Kowalski, Frank Kranitz, Molly Letman, Samuel Levine, Samuel Middleman, Ruth E. Pugash, Jerry Rakin, Percy Roth, Seymour Schoenfeld, Miriam Schulman, Sam Siegel, Philip Shapiro, Marilyn Steinhardt, Morris Unher, Saul Wabnak, Mark H. Yellen, and Bella Zisman. If there's other names, if there's ever a mistake on the list or you want someone read on any particular night, just email Nancy or call our office, and she will get the name in there. So we take all those names into our heart, and those of you whose custom it is to rise, please rise. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, b'alma divrach hirtei v'yamlik malchutei, b'chayachon v'yamachon v'chayed achol beit Yisrael, v'agalav v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah v'rach le'olam olmei almaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudashah b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechamata, damiran b'yalma v'yimaru amen. Yehei shlam rabba amin shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yimaru amen. Hoseh shalom b'imramav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'yal kol yoshvei tevel v'yimaru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all the world. And we say, amen. Zikranam levracha, may their memories be for a blessing. So I'm going to be calling up Bruce Chorus again for our announcements. Okay, let's see how this works.
Hello, Rabbi.
Hi, Bruce. All right, I'm going to put you right next to the mic.
Okay,
You're good.
great. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and I do want to wish everyone an early happy Festivus. I think we should all celebrate that holiday. Special thank you to Rabbi Alex, Cantor Frank, and Paul Staley for tonight's wonderful service. It was nice to have the Torah portion. What a treat. You're right, that's so important. And I want to say thank you again to the three of you for continuing to do this every week. This is so important to our congregants to have this connection, and it really means a lot. Tomorrow morning, we have virtual offerings, Torah study at 9 a.m., the Shabbat morning service, both of which are on Zoom, and then we have a virtual Kiddush luncheon following the morning service, which is also on Zoom. So we're going to do a little online schmoozing tomorrow after the service, which will be nice. As I mentioned earlier, this weekend wraps up Religious School for the year. The Religious School is going to have a virtual session on Sunday at 9:30 for grades K through 1, and then the Religious School closing assembly will be at 10:30 a.m. Both events will take place via Zoom. And again, thank you to Einav Simon and our teachers for doing everything they could to make the best of what was a very challenging situation for our kids. The Adult B'nai Mitzvah class is going to meet on Sunday at 1 o'clock p.m. That's via Zoom. Also on Sunday, we have meditation moment Sunday evening at 7 with Dr. Yanina Foster via Zoom. Then laughter yoga will be Thursday at 3 o'clock p.m. with Dr. Ellen Frankie, also via Zoom. Please join us. By the way, the Religious School faculty will be meeting on Monday at 4:30 via Zoom, as I mentioned, as they wrap up this school year. They're already thinking about the next one. The women of Shir Shalom are going to be having their monthly meeting Monday, 7 o'clock p.m. via Zoom. Please join them. It's a great way to keep in touch. Are you ready for summer? I'm ready for summer. And I'm also ready for some chicken. We're having a Shabbat on Tuesday from 4 to 7 or until sold out. If you pre-order your dinner, it's only $10. It will be $11 at the door. The event is drive-through only. And you must wear a mask to pick up your food, and you must stay in your car. I want to just mention, as I have most weeks, our outreach program, which is connecting members, able to help other members. In particular, a lot of our members are calling the members who are housebound or who just need some contact. And I've heard from a number of those people who receive these phone calls. They mean a lot. So if you can help out and do that, please contact Nancy in the office. Or if you would like a phone call from someone, also contact Nancy. Thursday night, we are going to be returning with our Buffalo Corner reading series. This is a poetry night. The evening will feature Cantor Barbara Osfeld, Rabbi Alex Ginella Kester, and Terry Nicholas, and there will be time for open readers. That is via Zoom. You do need to register for that, which I have already done. Next Friday night, 6:45, we have candle lighting via Zoom, 7 o'clock p.m., Erev Shabbat service, live stream via Boxcast. I told you it was a long list of stuff coming up next week. If you need anything at all, please feel free to reach out to myself, the rabbi, the cantor, or Joanne. We are here for you. Have a safe and wonderful Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Thank you, Bruce, and happy Festivus. So wonderful. I just also should share that we do have some Shavuot offerings. There will be, Beth Tzedek is doing their program of learning on Wednesday and Thursday in 2 weeks, and information is available on that. And we're also having a Yisker service on the Friday, the 29th at 10:30 that will be streamed just like this one.
10:30 a.m.
10:30 a.m. Yes, not p.m. I guess on Shavuot we have to be careful. They might want to stay up all night. If you want to stay up all night, there are a lot of options because we live in a global world. I also want to echo what Bruce said about all the helpers out there. I got a chance to, we have a grant called A Better Together. I got a chance to deliver 8 different meals, and we actually delivered, I think, over 40 meals. These were Shabbat dinners from the Jewish Discovery Center. And this Better Together grant helped to fund them, and it was wonderful to see. Again, happy birthday, Sue. I do hope you heard our service this week. It is so challenging. Okay, so I think that we're ready for Yom Zeh L'Yisrael. That's page 634. You've heard Cantor sing this before, so please sing along.
Yom Zeh L'Yisrael, Orav V'Simcha. Yom Zeh L'Yisrael, Orav V'Simcha. Orav V'Simcha, Orav V'Simcha. Orav V'Simcha, Orav V'Simcha. Yom Zeh L'Yisrael, Shabbat Menucha. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat Menucha. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat Menucha. Sing with us. Yom Zeh L'Yisrael, Orav V'Simcha. Yom Zeh L'Yisrael, Orav V'Simcha. Orav V'Simcha, Orav V'Simcha. Orav V'Simcha, Orav V'Simcha. Yom Zeh L'Yisrael, Shabbat Menucha. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat Menucha. Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat Menucha.
All right, let's lift up your marble rye or whatever kind of bread or gluten-free varieties you have as we say the Hamotzi Lechem Min Haaretz. Hopefully I'll get it this time and not B'rei Pri Hagafen. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Hamotzi Lechem Min Haaretz. Amen. B'te'avon, as you came in peace, may you leave in peace. Shabbat Shalom.
Yom Zer Yisrael, Shabbat Menucha, Shabbat Menucha, Shabbat Menucha, Shabbat Menucha, Shabbat Menucha. Yom Zer Yisrael, Shabbat Menucha, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat Menucha, Shabbat, Shabbat, Shabbat Menucha.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.